Good morning. I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castros.
Good morning to all our brunchies. A lot of developing stories in the pipe. We have Quiboloy saga. We have Alice Go saga because si Cassandra Ong is in the Senate, correct?
No, si Cassandra nasa House.
Nasa House. Tapos si Sheila
nasa Senate. Which nag-testify siya yesterday.
So we have a lot of developing stories at napainit ang ulo ni Senator Bato.
Oo. Tapos mamaya, himahin natin yung issue na yan. Of course, kagabi, napakalakas ng ulan. Kaya may mga schools po ang nagsuspend ng kanilang classes.
Aside from that, we have the MPACs and sinasabi mong ulan started last night for most of us in the metro. It started out around midnight all the way until hanggang ngayon.
Yes.
Meron pa.
So alamin natin ano ba yung magiging weather today. But for the meantime,
we're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee. This is Brunch.
Let's start our countdown with an update on the situation in the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City. Mobile journalist Merimon Reyes is joining us live from Davao City. Merimon, kamusta ang sitwasyon dyan?
Yes, Angela, mainit at tirik na tirik ang araw dito. Pero bukod doon, wala tayo masyadong nakahagilap na escalation sa mga pangyayari dito sa labas ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound. Ngayon, naka-standby lang yung mga police units, nagkakaroon din ng shifting para nga raw makapagpahinga, kumain at mag-ipon ng kanilang enerhiya. Ever since na na-serve yung temporary protection order kahapon, malaya nang makapasok at labas yung mga miyembro ng simbahan, lalo-lalo na siguro yung mga naiwan dito sa labas habang yung duration ng, kumbaga yung giitan sa pagitan ng dalawang panig ay nagpatuloy simula noong Sabado. Kanina umaga pa lang din may mga nakita tayo na ilang mga miyembro ng simbahan na babalik dito dahil may dala silang bag, mga gamit, mga damit, mga pagkain. At wala naman daw ibang order na nakukuha ang pulisya na nagbabantay dito, kundi yung mag-standby lang at siguraduhin yung seguridad ng labas ng KOJC. Hindi pa rin tayo makakasilip sa loob kasi wala tayong permiso, kaya hanggang dito lang tayo sa labas. And bukod pa doon, siguro yung pagdating sa usapan ng traffic, itong kahabaan ng CP Garcia National Highway, passable na rin naman siya ng mga pampubliko at pribadong sasakyan. Siguro nga lang kailangan magbitbit pa ng pasensya dahil sarado yung ibang mga linya kasi dito situated yung mga ambulansya, mga pulisya, mga vehicles, pati ng media. Pero yun lang naman yung kailangan nilang bitbitin dito kasabay nga natapos na yung truck ban from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. dito. Yun lang naman yung kailangan nilang i-consider. Wala rin tayo masyadong nakagilap na presensya ng mga miyembro ng KOJC sa labas ng compound. Dahil simula nga nung isinerve kahapon yung TPO, sila ay nag-celebrate at nasa loob ng compound. Kagabi narinig natin yung kanilang pagsisigaw, paghiyehe, yung kanilang parang debosyon sa pagpapasalamat nga dahil dito sa TPO. Pero bukod dyan, ongoing pa rin naman yung parang debate sa pagitan ng dalawang panig pagdating doon sa interpretation sa mga detalye sa loob ng TPO. Kung ano nga ba raw yung mga barikada na dapat dikpetin. Kasi doon sa mga nakausap din natin ng mga KOJC members, yung ilan sa kanila nagtataka kasi ang alam daw nila simula nung isinerve itong TPO, magliligpit na at aalis na raw ang pulisya. Pero ngayon, kaya dumadating pa rin kasi tuloy-tuloy na pumapasok din yung ilang mga police units sa loob. Meron din SAP tayo nakita na pumasok kagabi. Kaya yung iba sa kanila nagtataka. Pero bukod pa dyan, siguro mas nagiging dominated pa yung happy mood nila eh. Kaya ngayon din naririnig natin sa loob ng compound. Dito sa may dome nila, yung mga chanting nila, nag-yehe sila simula pa lang kanina umaga. Angela.
Yes, I'd like to touch up a little, Merimon, on yung TPO nga. No? Kasi interpretation ng police is, in other words, hayaan nila for the KOJC members to move freely, pero tuloy pa rin ang search. Ang akala naman ng KOJC, hindi na daw matutuloy ang search. So nakikita mo ba or sa naririnig mo dyan ngayon, Merimon, are the police still searching for Pastor Apollo Quiboloy sa loob ng compound?
Yes, so far ito pa rin talaga yung ongoing. Yung search operations dito para kay Pastor Apollo Quiboloy para nga ma-serve kanyang warrant of arrest ay ongoing pa rin dahil hiwalay yung usapin tungkol doon sa warrant of arrest at itong temporary protection order. Yun nga kasi yung nagiging debate ngayon, ang nabanggit din ng legal counsel ng KOJC na si Atty. Israelito Torion kahapon, aalis na lahat ng pulisya, magliligpit na sila. Pero sa panig naman ng pulisya, kinaklaro nila na ano po ba yung mga kailangang ligpitan, ano ba yung sakop nitong TPO na to, anong barikada ba yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. Kaya still, on standby pa rin naman ang mga pulisya dito sa labas at sa ibang mga entry points ng KOJC compound. Pagdating naman sa detalye kung ano na nga ba yung progress ng search operation sa loob, kung nasaan na nga ba sila, ano na ba yung sitwasyon, yung status, yung paghahanap sa ilalim ng lupa dahil nga dito sa nakukuhang signal ng radar pagdating sa heartbeat at signs of life, wala pa tayong ibang detalyeng nakukuha.
Mary Mon, would you know kung ilan na ngayon ang mga tauhan ngayon ng pulisya dyan right after ma-release yung TPO?
Wala pa tayong specific na numero. Pero kung susumahin natin, i-estimate natin yung mga lumalabas-pasok ngayon, kada labas-pasok na kikwenta ko kasi simula kanina, parang nasa 50 kada batch na lumalabas. So kung tatansyahin natin, aabot ito ng ilang daan. Plus kasi consider natin dito na hindi na lang naman yung Davao City Police ang nandito. May ibang mga units din na nanggagaling sa Calabarzon, sa Jensan, at meron silang shifting na ginagawa. Kaya medyo nag-iiba-iba din yung numero ng mga pulisyang nandito kasi nga kakailanganin muna raw nilang kumain. Pagka may aalis, may papalit muna dito. Ang nasabi sa atin, ang shift daw nila ay usually 12 hours. Pagkatapos noon, gigilid naman, may iba naman daw na papwesto dito. Pero bukod doon, hindi pa natin consider yung numero nung SAF. Saka ng iba pa, dumating din kasi dito ang ilang mga miyembro ng CIDG. So kailangan din natin i-estimate kung gaano nga ba karami yun. Susubukan natin makakuha kasi ng datos o ng impormasyon mula dito sa kapulisan sa paligid natin. Pero hindi pa nila kasi tayo mabigyan ng sagot.
May nakausap ka na ba ngayon na mga miyembro ng KOJC? Kung ano ang kanilang reaksyon ngayon na kasi kahapon nagse-celebrate sila dahil dun sa TPO. Pero ngayon nandiyan pa rin ang presensya ng mga otoridad. Ano naman ang kanilang sentimiento?
Halo-halo, Angela, kasi simula nung sinerve yung TPO kahapon, ang pinakaunang naging reaction talaga nila nung makapasok tayo sa loob habang inaantabayanan natin yung legal counsel ng KOJC na pirmahan yung receiving copy ng TPO, nagpapalakpakan sila, masaya silang lahat, at binubugang pa nga nila tayo pati pulisya, kumbaga nagbababay sila. Sa mga nakausap natin dito, masaya sila dahil hindi na nga raw sila pinapalaya sa kanilang property at nakakabalik na nga raw sila, kumbaga may kalayaan na silang maglabas-pasok. Pero again, on another point, nung nakikita naman nila na may mga pumapasok pa rin na units ng pulisya, nagtataka sila. So wala sila ibang magawa kundi tignan ng masama yung mga pumapasok na pulisya. Pero dahil nga overflowing pa rin yung kaligayahan nila kahapon, bas yun yung napapansin natin na emosyon nila. Pero ngayong umaga kasi may mga nakasalubong din tayo na ilang membro ng simbahan na bumabalik pa lang ulit dito sa loob. At nung nakausap naman natin sila, ayaw nga lang nila kasi magpa-record. Masaya raw sila kasi tulad nito, nasa labas sila ilang araw. Ngayon, makakabalik na sila ng malaya. Kung gugustuhin daw nilang lumabas ulit, magagawa na raw nila yon. Pero isa pa rin sa kanya question nila, bakit nga daw may pulis pa rin sa paligid ng compound?
Oo, Mary Mon, last na on my part, kasi sinabi ng PNP the other day, if I'm not mistaken, na yung mga entry points hindi lamang dyan sa KOJC kasi di ba meron niyang dugtong doon sa airport. Sabi nila, pati yun ay binabantayan na nila. Ngayon ba, would you know, meron ka bang impormasyon na nandoon pa rin, nakabantay ang pulisya o kasama yan doon sa tatanggalin nila dahil dito nga sa inisyo na TPO ng Regional Trial Court ng Davao?
Pagdating kasi doon sa barikada, ang interpretation ng KOJC, lahat ng mga pulis na nakakalat sa lahat ng entry points dito sa compound, kasama na yung doon sa malapit pa po sa Davao International Airport, lahat magliligpitan. Pero dahil nga iba-iba yung nagiging, kumbaga, debate tungkol dito, sa mga nakuha nating impormasyon, tuloy pa rin naman daw at situated pa rin ang mga police units sa lahat ng entry points, sa lahat ng gate, at kahit sa mga kalye na malapit dito sa KOJC compound. Tuloy pa rin naman daw ang pagiging standby nila. Wala raw ibang orders na binibigay sa kanila na lumikas talaga. Siguro yung pinaka-latest na lang na order na ginawa nga nila, yung human barricade. Kumbaga nabawasan na, hindi tulad nung mga lumipas na araw na hilera talaga yung mga pulisya dito. May isang maliit na lang ang nilera ng pulis doon na nagbabantay lang sa daloy ng trapiko. Pero bukod doon, ito pa rin naman yung sitwasyon ng mga pulisya, on standby pa rin sila.
Last question on my part, Mary Mon. In the meantime, habang magkasalungat ang interpretasyon ng both ng mga magkabilang panig, who is going to resolve this issue? May nasabi ba ang PNP na they are both going to the Davao Regional Trial Court or the Court of Appeals para ma-resolve itong issue and finally matuldukan na itong debate?
Yung sa huli kasing pangyayari, nag-usap si General Nicolas Torre pati itong si Attorney Israelito Torion. At kinwestiyon nga kasi ni Torre kung ano nga ba yung sakop, yung specific details pagdating doon sa nilalaman ng TPO. Pero pagdating sa ibang detalye, kung magkakailanganin bang magsampa ulit ng bagong order para daw mailigpit talaga itong pulisya, wala pa tayong ibang detalyeng nakukuha. Sinusubukan din nating makontak yung number na meron tayo related sa legal counsel ng KOJC, pero hindi pa tayo nila binabalikan. Yung pinakahuli lang na detalyeng nakuha natin ay baka magkaroon ng pagkakataon ng ilang miyembro ng media na masilip ang paaralan dito sa KOJC, pero hindi pa natin kasi garantisado yung seguridad, kaya inaalam natin kung ano pa ba yung ibang impormasyon na makukuha natin. Pero sinusubukan din kasi natin sumilip kanina, pero yun nga, wala pa tayong permiso at baka matag pa tayo na nagte-trespass.
Alright, thank you for that. But Merimon, siguro, in the meantime, if you can get any info as kung sino nga ba ang magde-decide kung ano ang order ng specific order ng TPO, that would be good. We'll keep in touch. Maraming salamat, Merimon Reyes.
Right, let's continue with our countdown. Next in our countdown, no less than President Bongbong Marcos defends the police operation against Quiboloy. Marcos denied accusations of overkill, saying the number of cops was justified considering the size of the area. Over 2,000 police personnel have been deployed around the Kingdom of Jesus Christ in Davao City. The president also criticized Quiboloy for using his followers to block authorities and evade arrest.
The reason we did this was so that we could maintain the peace. Hindi ko nga maintindihan kung bakit dinadamay ni Quiboloy ang mga tauhan niya. Kasi sinasabak niya yung mga tauhan niya. Wala namang kasalanan niya mga yan.
Even the Commission on Human Rights said, hindi naman overkill. It's just that if you were to arrest somebody in a 30-hectare compound at hindi nagtatago, freely sasubmit siya, hindi ka naman magpapadala ng 2,000 plus police force. You'd find a decent amount of officers to secure the person at large. Pero ito kasi nagtatago. You are hiding inside a compound that's 30 hectares long with thousands and thousands of followers. Di syempre, you need to at least man lang 2,000 uniformed policemen to secure.
30 hectares, 42 structures ang nandiyan with secret tunnels.
And a person in hiding. Kahit sabi mo 30 hectares and 42 structures, kung hindi in hiding, kahit 10 yan or 20 to pick up the person who will freely submit himself.
Kaya talaga nagkakagulo kasi nga tumututol itong mga miyembro ng KOJC at sinasabing mali ang ginagawa ng mga pulis tungkol dito sa search.
Tumututol din si Apollo Quiboloy lumabas. Nakaka-issue talaga.
Pero ang tabayanan pa nila dahil hindi pa naman dito natatapos yung ating
it's an ongoing developing
issue,
story.
diba? Yung pag-uusap natin tungkol dito sa issue kay Pastor Apollo Quiboloy dahil abangan pa po nila yan sa iba pa nating mga countdown today.
Alright, let's move on. Coming in at our 8th spot, President Bongbong Marcos expressed commitment to making the country safe for journalists and other members of the media. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza with the report.
President Bongbong Marcos deemed members of the media as partners of government. At the oath-taking of the newly elected officers of the National Press Club of the Philippines, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas and Malacanang Press Corps, Marcos emphasized the need for check and balance.
It is critical. We need media to be there. Government would not function as well as it does without the media. Because if unfettered, government can go in any direction, and we need once in a while a watchdog to say, look, you're going too far this way. You've made a mistake here, and it makes us think, make us re-examine what we have done, and perhaps take into account what what has been said by our media practitioners.
He pointed out that the media's courage and passion in championing freedom of speech and expression have echoed the aspirations of the Filipino people. The president also encouraged the media practitioners to continue to adhere to ethical and professional standards of journalism and lead the drive against misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation.
In an age when information drives the progress of our society, your dedication to lending expertise to help speak the truth on matters of national importance and promote objectivity in the face of conflicting news is invaluable.
PBBM then expressed the administration's commitment to making the country safe for journalists and media practitioners. He said the government have made strides in holding accountable those who have committed violence on media personnel.
We have filed cases against suspects. Our law enforcement agencies continue to work hard to bring other perpetrators to justice. There is no place for violence against the media in Bagong Pilipinas.
Mobile journalist Julie Baiza, We Are One News.
The Philippines was ranked by several agencies around the world as one of the most dangerous places for journalists to work. We were likened to, I think, Colombia. Was it Colombia or Nicaragua? And Afghanistan. Ka-level natin Afghanistan also in terms of dangerous place to work in. The most notable of which was yung kay Percy Lapid.
Oo. Tsaka yung isa, yung DJ.
Yung DJ na pinasok sa loob ng kanyang house, no less.
Doon kasi siya nagsustudio.
Pero ang dami kasing especially not in the metro per se but around although kay Percy across the region hard-hitting journalists who are going after erring politicians, they are somehow may nag-hit sa kanila ng mga gunmen, di ba? And so we hope that this pagbibigay ng atensyon ni President Bongbong Marcos sa issues na ganito, we'll see an improvement so that most of us in our professions will be able to do our jobs without fear.
To prove na talagang,
without fear.
Kunyari, ito ang pamilya ng Marcos ay hindi talaga against
human rights.
The media. Diba? Kasi before, during his father's presidency, di ba? Yun ang naging issue din eh.
Well, during his father's presidency, he wasn't really against the media. He controlled the media.
Control the media. Okay. Sige, tulad na nabanggit ko kanina, bibigyan namin kayo ng weather update dahil let's talk about the weather. As I've said, some parts of Luzon experienced heavy rain this morning. Actually, kagabi pa eh, di ba?
Non-stop. To get the latest on the weather, we have Pag-asa weather forecaster, Alxar Aurelio.
Magandang umaga.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Nagulat kami, non-stop ang ulan mula last night until this morning. May bagyo ba? What's happening?
Hello at magandang umaga at maulan na panahon sa ating lahat. Dahil po yan sa habagat. Wala pong bagyo o LPA. Habagat po yan. Kaya magpapatuloy ang maulan na panahon sa bansa, lalo po sa Luzon at Visayas. Mga lugar po na makakaranas na maulan ng panahon, itong Metro Manila, Central Luzon, Southern Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, buong Visayas, Pampanga, Benguet at Tarlac. So, paalala patuloy pa rin tayo mag-ingat at maging alerto dahil sa patuloy pa rin ang pag-ulan o maulan pa rin ngayong araw. Diyan pa rin dahil sa itong maulan na panahon ay posibleng magdulot ng pagbaha o pagguho ng lupa. Although walang gale warning sa araw nito, mag-ingat pa rin ang ating mga kababayan na babalak pumalaot, lalo po sa Luzon at Visayas dahil sa maulan na panahon. Ngayon at bukas ay wala tayong nasa sa mga low pressure area o bagyo sa loob ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Itong epekto ng habagat ay magtatagal pa. So, maaaring umabot ng hanggang Friday ang epekto ng habagat. So, magiging maulan pa rin sa araw na yon, lalo po sa Luzon, kasama Metro Manila. So, yun po ang ating update mula sa Pag-asa. Ako po si Alxar D. Aurelio.
Dagdag ko lang, Alxar, anong mga areas yung prone ngayon dahil nga sa mga malakas na pag-ulan, dulot ng habagat, tulad na nabanggit mo, anong mga areas ngayon yung prone sa landslide and flash flood?
Well, ito yung mga lugar po. Generally, ang mga lugar po, mabababang lugar. Lalo po sa may bandang Kamanaba. And yung mga malapit sa mga bundok. So, sa bandang, may lugar po sa bandang Bataan and Zambales. And din malapit sa Kailugan. So, yun po yung mga prone po sa landslide and flash flood.
Nabanggit mo nga no, hanggang Friday, maaari namin maranasan itong mga pag-ulan na to. Pero gaano kalakas yung mga magiging pag-ulan?
Ngayon ay malalakas na pag-ulan. Pero pagdating bukas, Friday, may pag-ulan din. Pero makikita natin yung intensity nito ay mabawas-bawasan. So, probably moderate rains ang inaasahan with paminsan-minsan malalakas na pag-ulan bukas. And then tuloy-tuloy na po yan hanggang sa pagdanda ng panahon, pagdating ng weekend.
Yes, Alzar, I'd like to ask, ano ba yung rainfall warning natin? Are we still in orange? And are we monitoring any tropical cyclones within the next few days?
Ngayong araw, nag-issue tayo kaninang 8 o'clock ng umaga at ilang oras mag-issue po tayo ng panibagong heavy rainfall warning. Nasa yellow warning tayo sa Metro Manila, Bataan and Zambales. Ibig sabihin ng yellow warning ay moderate to heavy rains po yan.
Okay.
Alright, maraming salamat sa iyo. That was Pag-asa Weather Forecaster, Adsar Aurelio. So today, dito sa Metro Manila, exempted ang number coding scheme dahil nga dito sa mga malakas na pag-ulan. At may mga...
Several classes have been suspended.
Yes, even yung mga public schools, ang mga klase nila ay suspended.
And some government offices na walang kinalaman daw sa walang kinalaman sa health and rescue services. Ayun. Wala silang work because naka-yellow rainfall warning tayo ngayon sa Metro Manila specifically.
Alright, coming up. The lower chamber defers approving the Vice President's budget. After a heated exchange, sino-sino kaya ang nagkainitan?
And the Kingdom of Jesus Christ secured a temporary protection order from the Davao Court. But why are the police forces still staying in the KOJC compound?
Oh, ayan ha. So hindi pa tayo tapos tungkol sa Quiboloy saga natin ha. Pero thank you muna sa
Second Mile
Coffee para sa ating comfort food for
Every
today.
Wednesday.
Ang ating ang tawag dyan, cream puff.
Cream puff.
Oo. Alright, sige. We are just getting started mga kapatid. More of our top 10 news and Brunch returns. Keep it here on One News.
To stand firm against wrongdoing and to actively do good even in the face of temptation. As we have seen in our ongoing inquiry, we are dealing with issues that have caused immense suffering, fear, and loss. The evil we confront in these hearings is not just in the actions of criminals, but also in the silence and indifference that have allowed such actions to go unchecked. It is our duty as the representative of the people to not only speak out against injustice, but to act against it. The Joint Committee's work is not just an administrative exercise, nor a political exercise. It is a collective effort to right wrongs, to hold accountable those who have perpetrated injustice, and to ensure that such actions are not repeated. This requires all of us to work together, to support one another, and to be steadfast in our commitment to justice. I urge all resource persons, public officials, and citizens to help us in this endeavor. When people come together to confront evil, when we choose to act justly and stand for what is right, we become a powerful force for good. Let us overcome the evil we face, the arrogance, defiance of the law, not with words alone, but with meaningful action. Together, Let us stand against vice and evil. Let us work to build a society where justice prevails, where the innocent are protected, and where our children and their children can grow up free from the dark shadows of vice, corruption, and violence. It is often said that evil thrives when the upright remain silent. Therefore, let us not be silent. Let us speak out and act, guided by the principles of righteousness and justice. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Chairman Abante.
At the proper time, Mr. Chair, I will be making a motion to grant immunity to our witnesses, Police Colonel Joby Espinido and Police Colonel Jimmy Fortaleza, because they are vital witnesses and they will be telling us something that is quite important and necessary for us to know at the proper time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Abante. At the proper time, the committee will rule on the motion by Chairman Abante on the issue of granting immunity to those who are eligible to avail of the immunity in their statements to be given before the squad committee. Thank you, Chairman Abante. Congressman Fernandez.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since the issue today pertains to EJK and the POGO issue, I will defer my opening remarks considering that Chairman Abante already took my time. So to expedite the proper discussion, Mr. Chairman, since alauna pa naman po yung POGO, so I will be submitting my opening remarks. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Dan Fernandez, for being considerate to the committee. Chairman Paduano, you're recognized.
Same with me, Mr. Chairman. I think the manifestation made by Chairman Dan echoes this representation. And I do not know if Chairman Dan has prepared these opening remarks. I hope so. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, he seems to have a 25-page opening remarks for today's committee hearing, Chairman Paduano. So thank you again for being considerate to the committee. Now, before we proceed with the...
And to the members, Mr. Chair.
and to the members as well. And before we proceed with the interpellation, allow the chair first to state that there are still
So you're seeing on our screens the House Committee hearing on Quadcom Committee hearing on not only Cassandra Ong but na-mention kanina sa opening ni Congressman Abante about EJK also.
Yes, illegal drug trade, EJK, Chinese syndicates, di ba yung mga POGO, yan.
Kasi mga known personalities that are linked to the issues that will be talked about sa House are from, of course, si Pangulong Duterte is linked to the EJK. Tapos si former spokesperson Harry Roque is linked to the POGO issue.
Yes.
And then you have a witness, si Cassandra Ong will be talking. And then
Yan ang abangan natin.
Abangan natin. They're thinking about granting immunity to several of the witnesses na minention. One was a police officer. Dahil masasabihin daw na importante.
Yan ang abangan nga natin. Kasi nakaschedule talaga si Cassandra Leong today na magsalita dyan sa ginaganap na Quadcom hearing dyan sa House of Representatives. Kanina, you just heard yung si Human Rights Committee headed by Manila 6th District Representative Bienvenido Abante. And the rest of the Quad Committee, yan yung Dangerous Drugs Committee headed by Surigao del Norte 2nd District Representative Ace Barbers. We have Public Accounts Committee headed by Abang Lingkod Representative Caraps Paduano, and Public Order and Safety Committee headed by Santa Rosa, Laguna Representative Dan Fernandez, which in fact kanina ay nag-skip na siya ng kanyang intro. Kasi nasabi na daw lahat ni Congressman Abante.
Tsaka mukhang, thank you daw for being considerate. Mukhang 25 pages long daw ang kanyang statement. So,
exactly.
Yun,
okay. Pero okay, sige, ang dami talaga mga nangyayari. Mind you, Wednesday pa lang ngayon, hindi pa natatapos ang week.
Wednesday, hump day.
Oo, pero kasi today din, August 28, ang umpisa, opening ng Paralympics. Diba, sa Paris 2024, wherein we have 6 Filipino Paralympic athletes na o para-athletes as we call them na kasama po dyan. Namely, sila yung para-swimmers na si Ernie Gawilan and Angel Otom, wheelchair racer Gerald Mangliwan, para archer Agustina Bantilok, para javelin thrower Sandy Asusano, and para taekwondo Jin Alain Ganapin. Okay. At tapos ang mag-flag bearer po natin dyan ay si Ernie Gawilan at saka yung para-archer na si Agustina Bantilok. Sila po yung ating flag bearer sa opening ng Paralympics sa Paris. Yung nakikita niyo pong picture right now sa inyong TV screen ay yung ating mga 6 na delegates po na para-athletes na wearing Dita Sandicoong na mga kasuotan.
Good luck sa ating mga para-athletes. Of course, we're also proud of you. Go for gold. Kahit walang gold, okay lang silver. Kung walang silver,
parati yan, bronze, silver.
bronze. Okay lang, pero mag-gold na kayo, di ba?
Why not?
Why not? Bring glory to the country.
Oo, para may iba naman yung natin, yung vibes dito sa
Oo, because
sa Pilipinas.
Like sila Kaloy Yulo, tsaka sila the other athletes, di ba? When they came home, medyo gumaang yung vibe natin lahat.
Oo.
Dahil siyempre happy tayo may euphoria tayo from all the medals. So it's their turn naman
Yes.
to provide glory to us.
Sige, good luck sa ating mga
Good luck.
para-athletes. Athletes pala. Alright, let's continue with our countdown. Going straight now to our 7th spot, the Octa Research Group releases their latest Tugon ng Masa survey. Now, based on the survey, Marcos obtained a trust rating of 71%, up from 69%, while Duterte registered 65%, 3 percentage points down from the previous survey. Meanwhile, 68% were satisfied with Marcos's performance, up from 65%, while Duterte obtained only 60%, which shows a decline from her previous 64% rating.
You can see na si
pababa
PBBM is, for a while kasi si PBBM bumababa Di ba? So now you see his numbers, he's going up. Tapos kasalungat niyan, you see si VP Sara is going down. This could be attributed to the fact na
Yung
officially, paghihiwalay nila. Tapos I don't know kung sakop nito yung issue about the book ni
Parang
VP Sara.
maaga pa yung sa book
Oo, pero it's
I mean, later part na yung sa
it
book.
would be nice to know and take a look kung ano yung mga issues na dumaan sa period na ito.
Bakit may pagbaba?
Pagbaba kay VP Sara at pagtaas kay PBBM. Kasi yung pagbaba ng VP Sara could be some of them lumagas at pumunta kay PBBM.
At
So
saka
we'd
we
like
have to
know
take
that.
note also which area saan bumaba. Kasi the last time na nagkaroon ng survey, yung kay VP Sara, mataas pa rin of course yung turf nila. Diba sa may bandang Mindanao. Pero pagdating dito sa NCR, nakita mo talaga yung decline.
Well, if it's sa pagbaba ng support sa numbers ni VP Sara, baka sa baluarte nila yan. But we'd like to take a look at that more. But let's move on for now. Ranking 6th is sensitive news involving alleged sexual assault. Actor Sandro Mulak accused the 2 GMA independent contractors of forcing him to use illegal drugs before he was sexually abused. During a Senate hearing, Mulak emotionally recalled his alleged experience with Jojo Nones and Richard Cruz. He said the two taught him how to sniff a white substance before they sexually assaulted him. Cruz was not present in the hearing. Meanwhile, Nones denied the accusations, which resulted in another heated exchange with Senator Jinggoy Estrada.
Wala po, Your Honor. And the mere fact po na humarap kami sa kanya is a clear indication of our innocence po.
Did you apologize?
I invoke my right to self-incrimination. This is my constitutional
Don't
right.
argue! Ikaw na nga ang ikaw pa mayabang dito.
Ang daming
Gulat ako
Ang daming senator mainit na ulo. Kahapon si
hearing.
Senator Bato, ngayon si Senator Jinggoy. Oo, kasi I remember that issue about drugs was brought up yung previous hearings pa, hindi lang na-highlight masyado na inabotan daw si Sandro ng paper money na inikot. Kasi if you all know, if you watch the movies, rolled up paper money indicates that people are going to sniff cocaine. Kasi yan ang method of how you consume cocaine.
Ganun pala yun.
Pasintabi po sa mga magulang at may kasamang bata. We're just talking about po what's happening sa hearing na yan with regards kay Sandro Mulak. Kasi this accusation na pina-take daw siya ng drugs. Oo.
At saka pinakita na rin, di ba, sa mga previous
CCTV
days, yung
footage.
CCTV footage,
Of-
yung papunta siya, tapos yung pag-alis niya doon sa, nagtutugma naman doon sa mga salaysay niya. Okay.
Ang payo ko lang kay Senator Jinggoy, maglosartan siya.
Oo nga.
Kasi yung
Pero
high-
mas maayos nga ngayon yung pakikitungo
high
niya
blood
ngayon doon sa
pressure.
mga
That's good, that's
nagsasalita
good.
kay Gerald Santos.
I'm sure
Kasi
mga-
siya, nabash siya eh.
Nabash siya. And also, aside from that siguro, kasi ang daming pressure from all these hearings left and right yung mga senators natin. So, maiinit ang ulo.
Nako, sige. Dahil tulad ng nabanggit ko, napakarami po ng pangyayari ngayon. Let's move on na and let's discuss our next topic. Moving over now to our top 5, Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro Jr. calls China the biggest disruptor of peace in Southeast Asia. In an international conference, Teodoro said Beijing is attempting to fragment the ASEAN region. He emphasized that China remains a threat to the peace and stability in the area. This comes after Chinese ships rammed and fired water cannons anew at a Philippine vessel.
In this region, China, although without saying it, and I'll say it for you, is the biggest disruptor of international peace in the ASEAN region. What is China trying to do? It's trying to break us apart.
Yan.
Very
Sinasabi
strong
niya-
words from Secretary
Yes.
Teodoro. That
Sabi
China...
nga niya, ang sinasabi niya, ASEAN cannot continue to ignore, diba, what's happening there.
Well, one of the reasons for that is China is has one of the largest armies in the ASEAN Indo-Pacific region, diba? Which the US is trying to balance this. That's why a lot of EU countries and the United States also is trying to increase their presence in other countries like the Philippines,
And-
Japan,
Oo.
to
And
balance
we have to take
that.
a look at also how itong mga other claimants like Indonesia, Vietnam, ano yung mga, di ba, strategies nila when it comes to dealing with China. Because when in fact, di ba, especially in Vietnam, iba eh. Kumbaga, wala tayong naririnig na mga ganito masyado na mga confrontation. So, ano ba yung ginagawa nila and ano ba yung pwede natin gawin para marinig natin ngayon ang side ng ASEAN members regarding this issue.
Okay, let's
Alright.
move on. Let's move on. Now, sitting at the fourth spot is about Alice Guo. President Bongbong Marcos claimed he has a, quote, very good idea whose heads will roll over the escape of dismissed Bamban Mayor Alice Guo. The president did not disclose further details about this. He said some of the people involved in Guo's escape are from the Bureau of Immigration, or BI. Marcos added that the BI kept him in the dark about the escape on the hiding mayor.
Oh, yes, definitely. So DOJ, I was just with the secretary earlier today, is almost finished with a very thorough investigation. And we will identify all of those who have, all of those who are involved in this, and we will act very quickly.
The lawyer who notarized Guo's counter affidavit was grilled by some senators during a hearing yesterday. Attorney Elmer Galicia earlier claimed that he personally saw Guo in his law firm in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan on August 14. However, he admitted to the senators that Guo did not swear in front of him when he notarized her counter affidavit.
Sa ngayon po, hindi ko na po masabi kung talagang siya yung nakita ko. Pero hawig po. Siguro error nga on my part, pero para po akong nagulat eh. Nagulat po talaga ako na makakaharap ko itong taong ito. Hindi naman po ako yung tipo ng tao na para puntahan po ng ganong klaseng mataas na tao.
Marami tayong gustong sabihin tungkol sa hearing na yan, but for the meantime, let's go to the House Quad Committee hearing on Cassandra Ong.
Congressman Paduano, with the indulgence of Congressman Fernandez. Please proceed.
Can I speak? Mr. Chairman, just a point of clarification. Those mentioned name, of course, they were issued as subpoena, but except, no, it was very clear during the last hearing with regards to the presence supposedly of Miss Celine Cruz, and was personally explained and manifested during the last hearing by her sister that a certain Celine Cruz Roque was already residing in the U.S. But the Cruz family, except for the father, committed to this committee that for on behalf of Celine Cruz, they will explain and answer whatever will be the query and questions of the members of this committee. So, Mr. Chairman, just to put in order, Celine Cruz was excused during the previous hearing, and I presume that she will be excused in today's hearing, Mr. Chairman, on that grounds. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The manifestation of Congressman Paduano is noted. Congressman Fernandez, please proceed.
Because, Mr. Chairman, I agree with Chairman Paduano on Jemeline Santos Cruz. There are those unserved subpoena that was issued by us. And in accordance with this communication, they refused to receive the said subpoena. A lot of them in the issue of PORAC refused to receive the said subpoena. So I believe, Mr. Chairman, that we need to take action on this, considering that refusing to accept these subpoenas is tantamount on saying that they are somehow medyo masakit man sa Tagalog, pero pampabastos dito sa Quadcom. And we have to insist on their presence. Exactly because the main character that we are looking for so many months is already in our custody. And they can clarify a lot of matters that we will be discussing later. And so, Mr. Chairman, I think the Quadcom should take action on this matter.
Mr. Chairman.
Is the chairman of the Committee on Public Order and Safety moving for the issuance of a show cause order to those names that he mentioned?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Congressman Paduano.
We'll just check the records if indeed they were issued the subpoena. But, Mr. Chairman, ganito na lang po, just for due process, for all those listed names that was cited by Chairman Fernandez, I think the ruling or the position of this committee will just hold, and we will tackle it before we suspend this hearing, because maybe we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they will be coming into this hearing, maybe late. So I think for me, Mr. Chairman, we'll just tackle it before we suspend this hearing, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Congressman Albano.
Chairman, we have subpoenaed several members and they've been repeatedly absent here. And I fear that another exit of a banca like Alice Go will happen. We should issue already a not only a show cause order, if I may ask the chairman Dan Fernandez to really issue a subpoena so that we can ferret out the truth, because we cannot again afford another mistake where it is so embarrassing that a certain person that we submit as a subpoena will again...
So that was the Quadcom committee hearing on the EJK and also on the POGO issue with
Yes.
Cassandra Ong and other witnesses in tow.
Mamaya, wala pa si Cassandra Ong dyan.
Pero mamaya, 1 o'clock
mamaya.
daw ang POGO, but the hearing is starting now. They're ferreting lang, they're streamlining now the rules of the hearing para hindi magulo daw
Actually,
mamaya.
ang Senate sumulat sa Congress kung pwede nila pa-attenin si Cassandra Ong sa hearing naman nila sa Senate. Pero until na wala pa daw sagot ang Congress.
Okay.
Alright.
Don't go away because we're not done yet. May tatlo pa tayo. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Thank you very much again to Second Mile Coffee for sending over these goodies and the coffee which help us get through our show.
Yun. Bawi kami sa mga bate, baka tumurok kasi sobrang siksik
Siksik
po
sa
ng
balita.
ating mga pinag-uusapan ngayon. So let's continue with our countdown. Coming in at our top 3, Vice President Sara Duterte and House lawmakers engaged in a heated exchange over the OVP's proposed budget. Here's the report.
Tensions flared at the House of Representatives on Tuesday during the committee hearing on the proposed 2025 budget of the Office of the Vice President. VP Sara Duterte refused to answer several questions, especially regarding confidential funds.
I would like to forgo the opportunity to defend the budget in a question and answer format.
But Duterte's request was not granted by House Appropriations Committee Senior Vice Chairperson Stella Kimbo.
We have 17 members listed for interpellation, and as you know, you've been here many times for our budget briefing, that this is an important part of the budget briefing. The GAA, the General Appropriations Act, is arguably the most important piece of legislation every year. At kasama po ito, ang pagtatanong at pakikinig po sa sagot po ninyo ay napaka-importante pong input sa aming pong trabaho. We will proceed to ask questions.
The first one to question Duterte's budget was ACT Teachers Representative Franz Castro. Castro raised the OVP's low budget utilization rate of this year's budget.
So yung utilization ay napakababa. Pero syempre comment ko lang, no, mas mabilis siya sa confidential funds. 100% in 11 days.
Madam Chair,
Duterte responded and also mentioned Castro's ongoing child abuse case.
Madam Chair, I do not understand bakit a person convicted of child abuse is still sitting in a seat
Point of
of the
order,
House
Madam
of
Chair. Ito yung sinasabi
Representatives.
nila.
You allowed her as my comment and then you will not allow me?
But Castro hit back at Duterte, calling the vice president pusit, in apparent reference to squid tactics.
Since ayaw magpaliwanag ang VP, so ibig sabihin nito, yung paggastos ng 125 million ay na pera ng taong bayan ay hindi maipaliwanag. Yung tactics na ganyan, na parang parang sorry for the pusit, na kapag nasusukol na ang pusit ay nagaano ng maitim na tinta. So ayaw natin ng ganun, Madam Chair.
The vice president then complained against the lawmakers of being unfair.
Bakit?
Yes,
Bakit napaka one-sided nito, ma'am?
noted po.
Dahil ba madami kayo dyan sa kabila at nag-iisa ako dito?
Former President and now Pampanga Salon Gloria Macapagal Arroyo came to Duterte's defense.
When we want to question something about performance, we question the 2024 budget, not the 2023 budget. What is being questioned now is the 2023 budget, which was discussed very extensively last year.
But this did not sit well with Kimbo.
It's a big amount of money. I believe we owe it to the people to understand what happened. Of course, tinanggal na natin noong 2024. Gusto natin malaman, tama ba yung ginawa natin?
Meanwhile, Kabataan Representative Raul Manuel asked about the supposed errors in Duterte's book, Isang Kaibigan.
Dahil ayaw din po ng resource person ng question and answer, then ang paraan ko na lang po ay hindi pa tanong. Tell the committee sino po ang editor ng children's book na ito.
I will forgo the opportunity to defend the Office of the Vice President 2025 budget proposal by question and answer. And I
Madam
leave
Chair,
it to the House of Representatives to decide the proposal as presented.
The name of the auditor of the children's book.
The over 5-hour hearing was eventually deferred as Duterte wasn't able to provide substantial answers. The next hearing is scheduled for September 10.
17 lawmakers pala ang supposedly nakahanda with PowerPoint presentation para tanungin siya tungkol sa budget. Ang kulit mo.
Pipikon ako sa'yo eh.
Pero yun, 'Diba? So, naging mainit talaga
Ay, nako.
yung usapin ng budget. Normally kasi, 'di ba, yung parang may formalities, yung proper decorum lang, 'di ba, sa mga vice president.
Yes, oo.
Wini-waive na nila yan yung deliberation. Pupunta lang doon, tapos proper decorum, formalities, tapos approve na kaagad.
Kasi yung mga recent budget naman ni VP Lenny was the lowest possible budget na bibigay sa isang office na hindi niya kinontest.
Oo.
Diba?
Kaya nga sinasabi nga
And
niya,
she did
Vice
not-
President Sara Duterte, ba't di ko alam sa kanya, ba't di niya kinokontest yung mga budget niya?
Had VP Lenny siguro requested for a large amount para sa budget niya, then I think magtatanong yung mga lawmakers.
At saka nag-umpisa to talaga na talagang iniisa-isa nila si Vice President dahil nga dun sa confidential fund.
Yeah, oo.
Diba?
Which was spent in 11 days, ilan? 100 plus million?
Saka bakit siya may
11
confidential
days.
funds when ang department niya is education?
Redundant daw because ang confidential funds for intelligence pwede daw sa iba manggaling.
Kaya sa side ni Vice President Sara Duterte, sige, bahala na kayo mag-decide. Wala na akong sasagutin sa mga tanong nyo. Sasayang lang tayo ng oras dito. Pero still, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung ating mga lawmakers sa deliberate ng budget. Okay?
Alright, let's
Abangan
move on.
natin September 10 ulit
September
yung next
10.
hearing.
Okay, let's move on. Coming in at the second spot, the police operations against the fugitive Apollo Quiboloy continues despite a temporary protection order. This as the Supreme Court clarifies that the TPO does not deter the service of the arrest warrants against Quiboloy. The Supreme Court explains that the TPO only orders the removal of all forms of barricades that bar access to and from the KOJC compound. The PNP earlier said they have received a copy of the TPO from a local court, but they won't leave their premises. Ayan, no less than the Supreme Court says the TPO only removes the barricades, which prevents access from to and from the KOJC compound, but the warrant of arrest will still remain.
Doon pa rin dahil kailangan pa rin nilang mahuli si Pastor Apollo.
Rejoice kayo.
Pero 'di ba kasi ang sinasabi nga nung lawyer nila, pwede na kayong umalis. Yun ang sabi niya kahapon.
What the police cannot do is prevent them from accessing the compound because in the duties na meron silang work doon, meron silang school, meron din silang mga prayers, hindi pwede pigilan ng police because that is their right. As members
baka biglang may tinatakas na pala dun sa...
no. But they can secure,
I watch too many movies.
They can secure the premises. They can guard the premises and the access points, but they cannot deter or prevent access. Yun naman ang malinaw sa sabi ng Supreme Court. Ayun.
Next! Still remaining in the top spot is Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. The Davao Regional Trial Court has released a temporary protection order or TPO in favor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ members against the police force. However, the police remained in the compound to serve the arrest warrant against Quiboloy. Here's the report.
The Davao City Police are still in front of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City last night. Just like in the previous nights, they were still wearing their full battle gear against potential threats. They remained in the area despite the temporary protection order released by the Davao City Regional Trial Court Branch 15 yesterday. The order stated that the police should remove all barricades in the compound. KOJC's legal counsel, Attorney Israelito Torreon, insisted the order means the police should already vacate the compound.
Pwede na po kayong umalis. Yun po ang order ng korte. Yung mga pulis ay inorderan po na umalis na po dito sa KOJC compound.
However, the Philippine National Police, or PNP, had a different interpretation. PNP Regional Police 11 Director Police Brigadier General Nicolas Torre III said the order does not prevent them from hunting Quiboloy. He said the TPO only told them to remove the barriers and to not leave the compound.
Anong barrier natin doon na ginagawa sa inyong mga operations? Because right now, as we can see it in the protection order, never it is mentioned that the police stopped the implementation of the warrant of arrest against fugitive Quiboloy, and never was it mentioned that we will vacate the premises.
The Supreme Court also clarified that the TPO does not prevent the police from serving the arrest warrant against the fugitive pastor. The PNP will file a motion before the Davao Court to seek clarification on their order.
So, kaya ngayon, tulad ng binanggit nga ni Merrimon Reyes, yung ating mobile journal, ay nandoon pa rin yung ilang mga pulis. Although may bawas na from 2,000 the last time, mga 5 days ago. This is the 5th day eh.
Which
Diba?
is a little mind-boggling that the interpretation of Attorney Carrion, who is a lawyer, should know that what a TPO is. And kasi sila naman ang nag-request ng TPO
Sa
di ba?
Regional
May prayer ka
Court,
for a TPO. So minsan naka-define doon, ano ba ibig sabihin ng TPO? Di ba? You can now leave. Now leave? Hindi. Basta ang point ng Supreme Court,
Kasi iba yung, syempre, iba yung interpretation ng mga pulis. Kaya pwede sila
ito, no less.
motion, di ba? MR.
Ito, no less than the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Oo,
Sinabi naman
na-clarify.
nila, yung warrant of arrest is ando doon pa din. Kailangan pa rin nilang i-serve yun.
The action or the process of the serving of the warrant of arrest will continue. The only thing that must stop was the deterrence of members from accessing the compound.
Yung yung nasisira ng
Malinaw.
mga pulis doon ng mga property ng KOJC compound. Sino kayo magbabayad nun? Pulis pa din.
I don't know.
Diba kasi may dinidrill sila doon. Diba?
Well, that's a school. So I'm sure naman at their own at their own budget naman siguro 'yan. Kasi if kahit mahanap si pastor doon sa ilalim at it proves successful yung pagdidrill nila, they still have to pay for that kasi they damaged it eh.
Yeah.
So I
Alright.
guess
Sige, abangan po ninyo dito sa One News and One PH yung iba pa mga detalye tungkol nga po dyan sa ongoing search na nangyayari sa Davao City for Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. And of course, yung ongoing hearing, yung Quad Committee hearing dyan sa House of Representatives na later on po ay magsasalita si Cassandra Ong. Diba?
Alright, thank you very much pala sa mga those who joined us today dito sa Brunch. Second Mile Coffee, of
Bawi
course.
kami sa greeting tomorrow.
With this wonderful cup of coffee that I drink every day. And of course, yung atin na cream puff na napakalaki, nakakabusog. And sa lahat ng viewers, thank you for joining us today. Angel. And with that, we'd like to leave everyone with a quote. Ano yung quote?
Ako ba ngayon ang
Yes.
nakaatasan? Obedience to lawful authority is the foundation of manly character.
And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunzad-Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News, all sides, all the time.